When it comes to funding your college education, the abundance of scholarships that are available out there can really help make a difference in your college experience. Scholarships can provide an excellent way to receive free money for your college education, because if you aren't familiar, college can be extremely expensive. And with the countless types of scholarships that are available, you're bound to find a few at least that you would qualify for. Now, scholarships are something that I seriously wish I was savvy enough back then to know to apply for. I did qualify for a few scholarships from my college, but I didn't really know at the time that I could go searching for different scholarships that were out there. And so I want to create this video to help you to find those scholarships while you're in college or as you're getting started going to school, to help you so that you don't have as much debt as I did coming out. Now, scholarships are pretty cool because they can actually go towards paying for a variety of different expenses that you're going to experience while at college, including tuition, books, housing, and a few other things. And whenever you have leftover money, so if you have more money coming in than your college education actually costs, you eventually will receive those scholarships as a check back from your institution. So to embark on this scholarship search, you need to prepare yourself to do things like write essays or even make videos or fill out lots of informational forms about who you are, so that way when you're applying for them, people can tell if you actually qualify, and they want to know that you are the right person that they can give their money to. Hey there, I'm Katie Jones, and I'm a faith-based money coach. I help young professionals learn excellent money management skills that are rooted in the gospel so they can free their money up to pursue their unique calling without any financial hesitation. Now, as a college student, you are kind of getting into that space of being a young professional. You are just on the cusp of being a professional in the workforce. And so I want to help you to get good with your money before you have the chance to, I don't know, screw it up. So many of us go through life not knowing that there are opportunities to save more money, especially as a college student. Start saving money so that way you have more money in your pockets to do important work for the kingdom. So that's the purpose of what we are doing here today, is to save you money so you can do more things with it. For me, I had somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000 in student loans when I finished college. That's around average. There are many students who come out of college with much more debt, especially if you are planning on going to graduate school later. The more scholarships you can get now, or even as you get into graduate school, wherever you are at in your journey, scholarships can seriously help you so that you don't have to pay back as much money. And so that's the beauty of them, is that it's basically like getting free money. And it's not 100% free because you really have to trade your time and a lot of effort and a little bit of work in order to apply for and get those scholarships. So you do have to pay something, but what is beautiful is that you don't have to go and pay those scholarships back. So that's why I consider it free money, is that you don't ever have to pay for them later. So you're thinking, wow, these scholarships sound so magical and wonderful. How do I find these wonderful, beautiful, magical mystery things? Great question, my friend. So here are 6 ways that you can start your college scholarship search and hopefully find scholarships that are perfect for you, that you can get anywhere between, $500 to $1,000, even more. It really depends on the scholarship. Typically, the higher the scholarship, the more work and effort you're going to need to put into your search and your work in order to actually apply for those scholarships. There really isn't a limit to how many you can get, which is why if you get more scholarship money than you have to pay in tuition and expenses for school, that's why you can get those checks back from your school saying like, hey, you paid too much, here's some money back. Go and apply for as many scholarships as you can, and don't stop there. You can continue to apply for scholarships as your college career goes on. So the first year, your second year, third year, and even going into your fourth year, you can continue to apply for scholarships and add on more money. Most scholarships are like per year basis as well. So I do encourage you every single year, start this journey over, even through the year of, going to school. Don't just do it as school begins right now. But, in December, think about applying for more scholarships. Well, in this video, I want to share with you 6 ways in which you can start your search for those scholarships. The number one best way to find college scholarships these days is to utilize the online databases that have been put into place by wonderful people. There's a ton of reputable online databases in which you can start your search from. Places like FastWeb, scholarships.com, and even College Board provide fantastic databases in which you can actually start to, type in your criteria. Where do you live? Where are you going to school? How old are you? What are your demographics? What are you going to be studying? What are your hopes and dreams in your career? Of course, there's tons of databases, but it is Forbes.com that has a list of the top 9. The top 3 are those ones that I just mentioned, but you can check the show notes below. I'll link to that Forbes article for you so you can look at all of the databases, because you never know. Some of them might have different scholarships that they have in place than other ones. Even though these databases do a pretty good job pulling in the majority of scholarships around the country and even around the world that you can apply for, there are some places locally that you might not think about that also can offer scholarship opportunities. So definitely keep listening. Place number 2 to check out are any kind of professional associations or organizations that might pertain to your career path or whatever you are studying and whatever you want to get a career in. So if it's in agriculture, you can look for farming communities that might offer scholarships. And there's tons of different business associations that offer scholarships to aspiring business professionals, and same thing for like the real estate world, and lots of them in like the science industry. So definitely check at some like local as well as national associations and organizations within your industry and find out if they offer any scholarships like on their websites, just by going onto them, typing in scholarships into their search bars, and even just asking professionals within that industry if they know of any. Place number 3 are any local community resources. So think about places like your library or community centers, even things like Rotary clubs offer scholarships. It's actually one of the places that I've received scholarships for in the past. My mom was on the local Rotary club and she knew that nobody was applying for these scholarships, so she's like, hey, why don't you apply? And because I was one of the only people that applied for the scholarship, it made their choice easy. So it was like, well, I guess she's the only one. So you never know. There could be these small local community offerings that have scholarships for students that are coming from their town. So contact your local library or community center to see if they know of any. It could be just a few $100s here and there, but again, every dollar counts when it comes to paying back your college education, because again, you don't want to have to take on any student loans, or you want to take on as few student loans as possible. Place number 4 to continue your scholarship search are any kind of corporations or businesses, again, within your industry that might offer some kind of scholarship. So if you have like a dream company that you would love to work for one day, especially maybe as you get closer to graduating and you almost have that degree in hand, reach out to those companies, let them know that you are studying to be on staff with them, and see if they might have any scholarships that they might offer to you. You'd be surprised at how much this actually works with other individuals. I found that this is a really great way to get college scholarships from the businesses that you actually want to work for one day. You'd also be surprised that the company that you might be working for right now in high school or college may offer a scholarship for those going to college. In fact, this is the way that my dad paid for his college education. He was a paper boy basically most of his childhood or something like that, and the paper company that he worked for, riding bikes down the street, throwing papers at houses, that classic paper boy, he actually received scholarships from that company, enough to pay for his entire college education. So this is a huge deal. So if you're currently working for a company and have been for a few years, or if you're in college and you're getting started at a company, again, ask those places to see if they might offer any kind of college scholarship for you. The next place to continue your college scholarship search is your high school counseling center, or even the college financial aid office. So these are two really great resources to tap into if you haven't already. A lot of times this was like the place to start back in the day when we didn't have all of the databases online and you couldn't just like do a Google search for scholarships. Definitely reach out to them. They might even have creative ways that they know of in order to help you pay for your college education, including doing something like work study on campus where you usually work in an office, and instead of getting paid like a paycheck, they actually pay towards your tuition. That was something that I also did to help reduce my college education costs. Super helpful. It wasn't a ton of money, but again, every dollar counts. The last place I recommend checking for scholarships for your college education are any kind of faith-based organizations. So especially if you are planning on going into some kind of biblical ministry, like vocational ministry, because hey, we're all called to ministry no matter where we're at. So, the business professional working in an accounting firm and those working on a farm, everybody is in ministry. So pastors aren't the only ones in ministry. Video on that later. But anyway, if you are trying to go into like a vocational ministry outlet, there are lots of scholarships available for you too. In fact, talk to people. I know sometimes it can be scary if you feel like you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what to say. Just ask people. And even if they don't have a scholarship available for you, they may know of somebody else who has a scholarship for you that you might be eligible for. So the main thing here is to ask. Talk to people, do some research, call people up on the phone. I know that's pretty scary for some of you who are young. Phones, they're not going to eat you. Okay, so these are the 6 ways and 6 places that you can start your college scholarship search. Again, jump on it, especially because school is right around the corner. And just so you know, there are deadlines to all of these scholarships. So again, as you're doing your search, check it out. Make sure that if you have a deadline coming up, that you meet that deadline. Every dollar counts, my friend. And I really want you to make the most of your college education while you can and come out with as little debt as possible and potentially even debt-free if that might be the case for you. So let me know if you take advantage of any of these scholarships or if you have any other secret tips on how to find those scholarships or tips for applying for scholarships, anything like that. Share them in the show notes below. What's been your experience? I would love to find out. With that, I will chat with you next time. I hope that you take advantage of these opportunities. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See ya.